So I was listening to you on Trader's Post after hours, and there was something I wanted to ask you about. It sounded like you said, given what was happening in the rest of the market, you were surprised that Bitcoin was doing what it was doing.
Surprise in a certain sense. So the rest of the market, we had stuff like the S&P and the Nasdaq. There was still some bullish momentum, some bullish moves, but not like Bitcoin, right? I mean, pretty significant. So let's say Nasdaq. Well, Nasdaq is basically tech. So we had off the lows of S&P, we had 14%, which is still pretty significant. But we haven't reclaimed the 200-day moving average. It's still, in a bearish trend. We also had gold pull back a bit, although this is, great time to start accumulating some gold. And we had a dollar bounce over here. So there was so much uncertainty within the markets. In fact, I think the S&P was really buoyed by like two assets. I think it was like Tesla and Nvidia. I'm not sure which ones, but they were the vast majority of the stocks were not performing very, very well. Some of them went up, some of them went down, some of them went down a lot. So the idea here is when the equities are doing poorly, you're expecting some sort of correlation with Bitcoin. But there's something here about where I haven't actually wrapped my head around. I'm going to have to ask the Shams and go look inside of the ether at the different levels a little bit more deeply. But what is happening is that gold is a flight to safety. But if you can imagine tariffs on the United States, let's say it's bad for the United States. It's good for other countries. This is something that Peter Schiff gets right, or you got right years ago, that it's actually, to some extent, a drain on other countries' resources to export their goods to the United States, right? They're making everything, the United States consumes it. And the currency suffers because of the world reserve currency. They almost have to manage their own currency reserves versus the dollar. But the dollar has been falling, right? Now, normally if the dollar is falling dramatically, the dollar is below 100, fall dramatically, that usually means equities go up, right? People are selling the dollar in order to buy equities. But it looks like they're selling the dollar for things abroad. So I don't know exactly, we haven't seen the numbers, but you would expect to see a rebound in bonds and in no, not bonds. You see a rebound in equities, and you're not seeing that. Like a significant rebound. The dollar is below 100 the first time in the last 10 years or whatever. Not 10 years, but since let me get the actual number. Since 2022, so before COVID. Like this 100 level over here is a significant level. And we're not just below it, we're plummeting. So you would expect to see equities booming, and that's not happening. But you are seeing Bitcoin booming. And you should have to keep in mind here that Bitcoin is not a US asset. Even though we all denominate Bitcoin in US dollars, it's like gold. It's not a US asset. And so United States cannot buy Bitcoin at all, and it could still go up.
Do you think people are fleeing the dollar for Bitcoin?
Well, imagine, I think Charles had a great point about this. Let me see if I have the video because I love to play it. Don't switch just yet. 1 second.
While he's getting that video, I want to remind everyone we do Sunday Fuel every Sunday. This lets you know the previous week's trade and the trade ahead. You can go and follow Tom, Sacred Profit, on X, Sacred Profit, and you can find out the trades there. So maybe you don't have time for a full video or whatever. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them in. We'll answer them, diagnose the charts for you, help you understand the market better. Sacred Profit is offering indicators and a signal set that is aimed or tailored for 50x leverage. And this is unique in this space, something you definitely want to check out. So you can check out our past videos. You can take a look at X for more information. We'll talk more about that later.
All right, so this is a quick video from Charles Hoskinson, founder of the greatest cryptocurrency in the world, Cardano, who was talking about this idea of tariffs.
What ends up happening is crypto benefits in the long term, because geopolitically what's happening is we're moving from a rules-based international order to a great powers conflict. Now, we're kind of young, so we spent our entire adult lives under a rules-based international order, but our parents and grandparents, they lived under great powers conflict. It was the United States and the Soviet Union going at it. So it didn't matter what the trade deal was, it didn't matter what the rule law was. If the Soviet Union wanted to do something, or the US wanted to do something, they just do it. And now we go back to great powers conflict. If Russia wants to invade Ukraine, it invades Ukraine. If China wants to invade Taiwan, it's going to do that. So treaties don't really work so well, and global business doesn't really work so well there. So your only option for globalization is crypto. If you want to do business with countries the United States doesn't like, or Russia doesn't like, or China doesn't like, in a global commons, you can no longer do that through treaty organizations or legacy banks or things. You can only do that through crypto.
Just to get back to kind of where we currently are, you don't think we're heading towards another crypto winter at all?
No. I think Bitcoin will be over 250,000 by the end of this year or next year.
What's going to drive that, do you think?
What'll happen is that the tariff stuff will be a dud, and that people will realize that the world is willing to negotiate, and it's really just U.S. versus China, and a lot of people will side with us, some people side with China. The markets will stabilize a little bit, and they'll get used to the new normal.
Anyways, great. I thought it was a great analysis there, because we're seeing that because crypto, and especially Bitcoin, is not a U.S. asset, and it's useful for everybody, and in a period of instability where you need to be able to trade with people under the table or without using the standard systems or whatever it is, there's a bid there. There can be a bid there for Bitcoin. And so, and we're seeing that with the selling of the dollar without people then rotating it into equities, it means they're buying something else. Well, it's no coincidence that the dollar falls, that the dollar fell 5%, and then Bitcoin rallied 15%. Like, this is not a coincidence. The dollar fell and the Bitcoin went up, which means some of that purchasing power went into Bitcoin. Like, that's how it works. That's how it goes.
News. That's fantastic. That means the plan is working. The CIA's plan is working.
That's right. Exactly.
Bitcoin
just
eats
convert
everything.
all debt into Bitcoin and then jubilee everything, reset the entire system.
That's
In
right.
a sort of like a great reset type of situation.
That's right. The greater reset. I think we should start.
Hey, the Holy Global Empire needs its pound of flesh. Let's give it to it. So yeah, that's what's surprising about that's what surprised me about the deep rise in Bitcoin. 22% off the lows is not like nothing for Bitcoin, even for a 70 vol asset, without a corresponding thing for equity. So it's like this decoupling that's happening. So we should expect to see that as the dollar keeps selling off, even if we're not seeing equities go up, we should see Bitcoin keep rising. And if it's rising because of what I'm talking about, where other nations are buying into it, well, that means that's like the best kind of institutional adoption, not performance-based, but because they have to, which is the whole game theory behind Bitcoin. So 250,000 to 400,000, like these numbers are totally within the realm of it. And if that's what's actually happening, well, yeah, $1 million with Bitcoin is going to happen, because what are you going to do? You need it.
Exciting times. Look, whenever you hear these things, just remember, when it comes to Tom's strategy indicator set signal, how do you call it? What do you call it again?
Indicator library.
Indicator library. What he's pitching here is can be profitable in a bullish, a bull market, bear market, or sideways, right? So you can make money either way. So you got to stop caring. Baby birds, just stop caring so much about, it's not going up. Oh, it's not. Do you want to make money, or do you want Bitcoin to go up? You think those are the same thing? They're not. All right. And you start paying attention to this guy. Echoes be damned. He knows what he's talking about. There, I said it.
I should just mention, though, that just to support that idea, that like I remember something that our enemies, our adversaries, don't keep in mind. And that's, despite all the movements in Bitcoin, despite all the things in equities, despite everything that's happening there, us, the chosen people, the new chosen people, we are still here.
What?
We are still here.
What does that mean?
It's a quote from the great Morpheus.
What?
There's a quote from the great Morpheus
Oh, I see.
from the historical Matrix.
Okay,
We
do
won't be
that.
shaken. We're going to make the money necessary in order to prosper in the new holy global empire. And we're going to fill it with the right morality and the right direction. We just have to get through this hard time.
Well, that I agree with.
Yeah. And I won't make it to the promised land, right?
Let's hope.
The sacred prophet won't make it to the promised land. But I do it for you. I do it for the people.
Of all the people, thank you, Tom. Now get back to work.
Excellent. All right. See you guys on the next Revelations and next Sunday for more Sunday Fuel. Ciao. Don't worship me.
No, you're